Hello, hello! We're gonna do a guide on my favorite deck to play this season, actually, is Golden Necker Kiki Queen. This is the new Stalker card that just came out. This is an old card that I loved, but suddenly became sort of viable again. And then this is the other new card that we got, new bronze, and actually the one I did the reveal on. And this is Hive Mind. But we're not playing Hive Mind because we're playing Golden Necker. And Golden Necker decks mean you can only have 9 provisions or lower cards. So this is the deck. It's Araka Swarm, right? So this leader, every time you play an organic card, gives you a little drone. Also has 5 charges that give you drones. This is very good to use with Kiki Queen, because Kiki Queen buffs the whole row. Buffs all insectoids on the row. It's a Golden Necker deck, so it runs Golden Necker. Because you like to have thinning, in a Golden Necker deck, you want to know what you're getting with your Golden Necker. You want to reduce the randomness as much as possible, so you run lots of thinning. Thinning also helps you make sure that you draw the Golden Necker, because it's kind of like the most important card in your deck, along with Kiki Queen. And this deck has a lot of thinning. It also has a lot of control, because I like to be able to respond to my opponents. So you'll see that in a lot of the lower provision cards. The most expensive cards in this, aside from like the thinning, Golden Necker, and the tutors, etc., are Caranthier, Kiki Queen, and Sir Scratch-a-lot. And yeah, these 3 are kind of like the most important, right? So the general game plan with this is you make 2 Kiki Queens, one with Caranthier, one with the card itself. You use Sir Scratch-a-lot to thrive them, and you use organic cards to also thrive them. You also have 2 of the new cards, the Stalkers, which you use as your control tool. You're already spawning lots of drones anyway, because you want to have, like, the way this deck gets points is through swarming and through boosting the units that it created. So since you're doing that anyway, this just gets you more value for those points. If I spawn a drone, that's 1 point. If I spawn a drone and there's a Kiki Stalker, that's 2 points, right? If I spawn a drone, there's a Kiki Stalker, and there's a Kiki Queen that's going to boost it by 1 per turn, well, that's a lot more points. So, as far as the specials in this deck, I like running 1 Bone Talisman. Most people run 2, and that might even be better. If I go against Harmony and I can't answer the Dana, I hate it. So I'm going to have this. Also, Dagon, Defenders, Sirinova. Tesham's just very useful in the meta at the moment. And it's just a lot of good value for the card. You don't have any way to give an enemy a status, like some decks do, like Pirates with their Corsairs, but it still gets a ton of value. And even if it doesn't, it bricks for 5 damage. 5 damage is not that bad, especially when you run Stalkers. Because, you know, Stalkers can do 1 or 2 damage, or Tesham can make something short enough, small enough, so the Stalkers can actually hit them. Because Stalkers can only hit things that are this lower power than they are. And their base power is 3. So when you play this, the enemy has like a 6 power Radovid you want to kill. Well, you just Tesham it, and then you ping it once with this. Think of these like ballistas, but for monsters. And instead of getting charged from resupply, they get charged every time you spawn a unit. Very similar to the stockpile ballista mechanic. You have 5 charges. You want to be very careful not to waste these like I do sometimes. I will try in this next game to control myself and play well. So hopefully you'll see the best ways to use that. Another card that got recently reworked is Endrega Queen, a card that almost no one knew existed because it was so bad. And the only thing they changed about it is, instead of gaining armor based on the armor of the unit it consumed, it gets armor based on the provisions of the unit it consumed. In this deck, you can use it to consume Roach, Knickers, or Wispa's Tribute. And when you do, it gets a bunch of armor, and every turn it spawns a drone. And we all know spawning drones is good because we have Kiki Queen. And we have Kiki more Stalker. Drone's good. They're not just like each turn it's like 2 or 3 points. And it's got 6 power plus a bunch of armor, depending on what you consume. And it's kind of a hard, like, they kind of have to lock it, or it will keep getting value, or kill it. And because we have Sir Scratch-a-lot and Kiki Queen, Itter, Endrega Queen, you know, Stalkers, Kiki Worker. We have all these cards that are engines or that will do a lot of damage or get a lot of points if they're left alone. And so the more threats you can add, the better. Because in general, when you are a engine deck, the way you win is your opponent runs out of answers. And when they do, you outpoint them or you kill all their stuff, one or the other, right? And so that's why it's good to have cards like this in here. I even experimented with running Armored Aracas. Because it's like yet another card with some armor that they have to deal with. And it's not bad. But I personally like the extra thinning. That being said, I don't think this is the best way to play the deck. It just fits my playstyle. You might want to replace this with Toad. Or get rid of Arcane Tome and play Maxi instead. If you're like a 2500 plus player, you probably, well, you know, this deck is probably too consistent for you. But at lower MMRs and like when you're dealing with a lot of cheese, having quick and instant access to your answers is going to be a lot more helpful. I wish first time viewer here, have you ever tried Hearthstone? Hey Valakar, how's it going? I'm recording a guide for YouTube right now. And the only way I get stuff done is if I do it live. Okay, so that's the deck. The most, I would say in terms of overall strategy, don't use all your win cons in the same round, right? Kiki Queen and Cat is one. Golden Necker is another. And your Stalkers, Itter, and Draco Queen is another. I'm not saying those have to be played together or never together or whatever, but I just mean like, if it's round one and Blue Coin and you've used your Golden Necker and your Kiki Queen, you better have a very good reason why you did it, okay? Hello, Facebook Gaming. Say hi to YouTube, everybody. Okay, let's play a game so that I can lose and be embarrassed and have to re-record the guide. No, not really. I don't actually redo guides when I lose. You can look at my Relics guide. Like, I think it's me losing 5 games in a row, and that's the guide. Because what I don't like is when people post a guide and they say, hey, like, oh, I went, you know, they post a screenshot. Like, they would post a screenshot like this, where you can only see, like, 5 wins in a row. And then they'd be like, oh, this deck is unbeatable. And you can't see their MMR or whatever because they're rank 3. Well, I am rank 35 in the world. No, that doesn't really mean anything because it's very early season. And it's just like people who've played enough games are at the top. Obviously, like, these people are really good, but like, there's a lot of people below me who would like beat me 6 out of 6 times in a best of 3, right? So, but the point is, I'm 2450 with this deck. I know it says 174 games, but most of those were experimenting in other things. This deck has actually got a pretty good win rate in my experience, both today and yesterday. I mean, you can kind of see this is my last 20 games as the time of this recording. And like some of these games were just me playing bad. So it's not necessarily the deck, just that I'm not the best player. This is a notorious screen sniper, worse than Ivkato. He basically, all he does is, and somehow he has like a mod in my channel. I don't know how to remove it. I'm pretty sure he hacked me. But let's go and play a game. Wait, could you guys see my screen when I was sharing all that? Oh my goodness. I was showing my match history. My win rate, etc. I think there's no Purify in this deck. No, before like 2 games ago, I put in Peller, and it just like there's so many times where Peller was just not working out for me. If I didn't have Teshem, maybe I would need Peller, but if they lock one of your cards, they don't have a lock for the other stuff. If you go against like NG lock spam, you can still beat them because A, Kiki more Stalkers have Bail built in. And B, you can just swarm, and they have Tall Punish. So, hopefully this isn't Mill, because playing against Mill is always different. Okay, so how do you do mulligans? Well, Roach and Knickers are obvious in round 1. Generally speaking, there's some rare exceptions, like if you're against Mill potentially, but even against Mill, yeah, maybe. Anyway, this location you can actually play from hand because we have Arcane Tome in the deck. But I need some engines, and I don't have any. That helps a lot. This is where I said, remember that this is a very good proactive card to play. Because, like, you don't necessarily want to commit a Kiki Stalker from Blue Coin until you see what your opponent's deck is. And you also don't want to, like, just, you know, if you play it, it's played for 3 points. Now, you can spawn drones and boost it so that you're removing it, taking it out of removal range, etc. But then you've taken a risk. You could boost it, but then you could Tesh it. I don't like to open with Kiki Stalker, even if it wasn't my hand. This card just helps me solve that problem because the opponent doesn't really want to use removal on it or a lot because it's a terrible card, right? Well, I'm actually gonna decree for a Stalker because I think this is Albrecht rent-free, and they have like 2 locks and not the most tempo in the world in round 1, so I don't think I'm gonna need it for something else. I'm just double checking. Yeah, I'm not gonna need it for Itter. Given what I have, so I'm just going to go here, grab a Stalker. That gets the Roach out too. I'm going to boost this with TA. And you saw when I created a drone, gave this a charge. I consumed that drone with Kiki Worker, which created another one that was plus 2 points, and this got another charge. So it's already at 3. And because oftentimes this deck runs Triss, I'm going to start to work on his units to make sure he has as few bodies as possible. I don't think he wanted to play Triss this round, but just in case. Now, do you go with Hideous Feast or Arachas Venom? Definitely not Hideous Feast. Why? We're already at 8 power. We don't need to be taller. Save this for next round when we don't have TA. In this round, we just want to use Arachas Venom. And he's given us a setup. Normally, you wouldn't be able to use Arachas Venom here, because it would be 6 points here or 3 points here, but we have this Kikimora Ballista, and bam! That 5 provision card just played for like 11 points. Plus it gave us a drone, so we can do this. And now this has 4 charges. So we use the charge, we click the thing, and our leader still has now he played those on the back row. That tells me he either doesn't have Triss or he wants the Triss back row. Maybe because these are low power units. But he's also at 7 cards, and he may just be passing. Maybe that was just for thinning. So I don't really want to commit the Endrega Queen. I can always use it to consume a Wisp Tribute later. What I think I'll do is just spawn a drone, consume it with this, and then play my Doldulok. And use Hybrid. This is something you don't usually see used, but because we just consumed a drone, this goes to 9. So this location, which is like usually laughed at as the worst location in the game, the order is terrible, etc., etc. The order is really good with Kikimora Stalkers. In my case, it will put Itter up top, so if you Bilgo Fort something, Itter will come out, which is not that bad, as opposed to Caranthier or Kiki Queen. Okay. Opponent, not so when he was at 7 cards, I didn't want to commit anything big, but now that he's at 6 and he plays Rune Mage, Roach and Knickers both come out. Okay, he's serious about contesting the round. So I'm gonna play the Endrega Queen, consume Roach with it because it's 9 provisions. Well, there's not enough turns for it to come out. I'm gonna consume Knickers because then it goes less tall. Click this for more charges. Even more charges. And unfortunate that we got hit. So I'm gonna start like removing bodies. Discourage him from wanting to, because like Triss, we're blue coin, he's red, so he has Triss. Wait, was there a sunset? Chat, did you guys see a sunset, Wanderer? Full House says, I watched Miyaman play yesterday. He ran Phantom, which might be a good alternative to Armored Arachas too. Yeah, I was thinking of Phantom also because, whenever you have cards that have damage pings, grouping them with things that give you reach is really good. Thanks, Yazdan. Okay. So we got the pass because he saw that we can kill all his units, and we had to commit this, but he committed Rune Mage, and I think that's a fair exchange. Now we got Itter. I tried going against a Renfree. I mean, it was a lock spam version, not the Aldrich version. Tried going against a Renfree deck once and in a long round, and they kind of destroyed me. That was a few days ago, and I've got a lot more practice on this deck since then. All right, I can't listen to hip hop when I'm doing this. Okay. But I'm considering putting out a feeler, seeing how he reacts. We don't have Golden Necker. We have one artifact, 1, 2, 3, 4 specials. I'm mulligan this. Probably keep this. What am I going to open with? Let's play the Itter and just see what he does. I need to get some of his answers out. Because, like, if you just go to a 10-card round, an opponent has all their answers.
That was not in the spell books.
Sometimes that, like, you might have 7 threats, but you don't get to play 7 threats in a 10-card round. You get to play like 3 or 4 threats, right? Well, this is definitely Renfree Aldrich Hyperthin. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by actual Hyperthin. Actual Hyperthin used to be a deck with like reveal cards. Doesn't run Roach and Knickers. Oh. Maybe they felt like they needed it for tempo with all the Golden Necker decks running around. This runs 2 Blightmakers and Roach and Knickers. Trotsky had a deck like this, but he ran Unicorns instead of Roach and Knickers. Hey, thanks for the sub, Lightning Tune. Your sub made it to the guide. I'm going to play my Stalker. And because I'm not planning to play Queen this round, I can consume stuff with it. Part of the problem is he's a point slam deck, so our control doesn't mean anything. He's just getting carryover. He's got a Sunset Wanderer there. I still have Golden Necker for next round. And a couple of like ways to create Swarm. I'm thinking I'm gonna test that.
As you command.
Just feel like I'm getting no respect from this. Okay, at least we got the leader. We don't really care about last say in this deck.
Truly electrified.
What the hell, man? That was a 1 in 16. This way I can play Chimera next. You know, I was on the Dandelion show for somebody doing that to my Sir Scratch-A-Lot like 6 months ago, right? I think that was maybe like the first time I was on the Dandy show. It seems like I have a knack for losing my Sir Scratch-A-Lot to Mage Assassins. I don't know if Derp has put some juju on Sir Scratch-A-Lot because he's jealous, you know? Or what? But I don't know. Consume this, click this. The reason I killed the small stuff is because I have a Pred Dive in the deck. There it is. There it is. You want to immediately kill Master Puppets because they want to put it on your side of the board and use Illusionist to get it out. So what do we say to Master of Puppets? Not today, Death. Probably should have clicked this and clicked those two.
Got a death wish?
Okay. Well, we got the sunset. We lost last say. But we got the sunset. We got the leader. And I'm pretty sure he grabbed Albrecht just now. Because he doesn't know if we have Golden Necker in our hand or not. Now, the best Golden Necker is Caranthier, like Arrakis Nest, and then, you know, another special. So I'm going to look and see. I'm going to mulligan something. Wait. I don't have Golden Necker. Okay. Send this out. Okay, so we got a unit. The safe play here. This is our only artifact, but the safe play here is to mulligan Caranthier. So we won't get to play 3 cards a turn in one turn, but we do get to play 2 cards in one turn. So that's something. I mean, he's rent free, so he can't cook that anyway. Opponent will probably go for damage 6 and then damage 6. Because damage 6 is how you can kill Kitty. Well, Kitty's already gone. They might go for stratagem if they want their Triss to get more value. Damage on units by 1. Yep. Use it right away. They don't want us to get value. And then they have 4 more when they pass. But that's not going to be enough because our deck is so consistent. We've set up a wonderful... Oh. Well, this is still organic. It's still going to give us points. So this deck usually runs Leo and Vilgefortz. We don't have any units in the deck. So Vilgefortz will get like Omega value anyway. If I use it on this, it will go to 9 or go to 8 for now. So he can't Leo at least. Nope, it went to 9 because of Kiki. Oh well. Vilgefortz comes out on the Kiki. Yeah, this is where I say like the deck is a little too thins a little too much, and while it makes it very consistent, in some situations like when you're against Vilgefortz, you kind of wish you had another card in deck. We're gonna play Bone Talisman first because it's an organic card now. It's got changed a couple months ago, and that means a new. It could spawn a drone. It could be on the correct row for us. So. And also, it procs Kiki more Queens Thrive. And boosts this by 1 as well because it affects all units, not just insectoids. Igni will get the 11. Okay, so instead of Leo, they run Igni. So if you consume an insect with this, it will a unit, sorry, a drone, it will boost all the other drones by 1. To proc this Thrive, we'd have to consume this 3 because then it would take it to 8. And so this would play for 8 points. But this would proc at 1 less time. But that's still 3 is better than 1, so we just do that. We have 37 points. Opponent's going to play Albrecht for more than 11, and they're going to win. Yep, 18 points. But now imagine this game. See how close it was if we have Sir Scratch-a-Lot. Either in the previous round or this round. Because he didn't get sniped by 1 out of 16. Lucky high roll from the opponent. Lydia says, do you like the deck? I do. I do like the deck a lot. Probably my favorite deck. The deck I've enjoyed playing the most this season, aside from my SK Beast deck, which I already output earlier. Did somebody do a Gamba on that last game? If so, let me know who I should mark. Let me know and I will mark the winner. Valakar says, I didn't realize the player pool was so small for this. Only 35 players in the world. Yeah, and only one player in North America, apparently.
The North shall tuck
Okay,
tail and beg for
it's all the
mercy.
Nilfgaard decks all the time. It's either going to be Madoc, which we're just supposed to lose to, I'm pretty sure. Although I haven't played Madoc against Madoc with this version yet. You never know. Or Soldiers with Lock Spam, which I think we're all supposed to lose to that, but we'll see. Generally speaking, if you're trying to make a guide, you will always get the worst matchups. But let's find out. That last game wasn't a bad matchup. That was very winnable. We just needed to not get unlucky with the... These cards are just all very good. But we're red coin, so we have a little more leeway in what we spend. And B, some of them I don't want to mulligan. This, never, ever, ever mulligan Kiki Queen. You need it in your hand for your Karant. You can mulligan every other card. This you cannot tutor. It has to be played from, it has to be in your hand. So it looks like some sort of clog. What did they put? They gave us a Viper Witcher Adept. We're going to immediately kill this with our Parasite because we're Giga Chads. You never want to let that live because it will keep boosting and it will quickly go out of your range. And also it will clog you by one extra card. It's an engine and a clog and just a general pain. So it fits the Nilfgaard faction identity quite well. By the way, guys, if you have any questions or if you want to, like, you know, say hi to your friends, welcome to ask. I know I'm like recording a guide, but really not a big deal. Okay, so I'm gonna play the Endrega Queen, eat this roach, which has bleed on it anyway, and this is gonna start ticking. Opponent's gonna have to use a tall punish on it, or it will just get me lots and lots of value. This is currently worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is worth like 17 points or 18 points. That 2 armor that it lost doesn't mean anything because it was never gonna have enough time to use that. But we want to get rid of that card for sure. So we play this. Spawn an insect, get this to 4. And then we are going to leader 3 more times. Because they can use slave drivers on those. And, you know, like this deck doesn't play a lot of units. You spawn units, you know, you play lots of specials. So there can be situations where, like, if Lightcap killed a unit and all you're gonna do is like spawn stuff or play specials, you can just leave it be. But this is not one of those situations because I'm gonna, like, to get value from my Endrega Queen, I need stock. So this gets our opponent to play YOLO Roderick. They get a unicorn. I hope they don't have the other one. Of course they do. Of course they do. Nice Roderick. Well played, opponent. Since they're trying to clog us, and they probably have abduction. Wait, is this Renfree? Is this Renfree Sandor with no abduction? Because, like, why play the Rune Mage in Imperial? That means there's no abduction. I was thinking of playing the card they put in our deck, but instead I'm just going to ban a bunch. This is the hard part, is like half the decks with Nilfgaard want to mill you, the other half want to clog you, so you don't really know what to do until you get to high MMR, and most of the decks are standard and obvious. Not this. Wait, was that green? Chat? Did anyone notice if the tome was green? Like if the order was green on the opponent's side? Okay, so they're not rent free. Okay, in that case, we want to play this. So if we draw this later, wait, does that put it at the bottom? No, it just shuffles it in there randomly. So if we draw it, we're gonna want to play it. Since all my important cards are in my hand, and he tried to clog me, and I only have like these units, I think I'm just gonna play Golden Necker now. Nice. I don't see him playing it past this. I mean, look at this point gap. But all our stalkers are gone now. But on the plus side, we won on even. So yeah, I think I just play this card, click the location. And we're off to the next round. Because that's an engine for me now. Because we spin more than the opponent does. Did. And this makes it so he can't use abduction on it. Can't, however, do that. Well, we're still going to get 1 point a turn from it. So he's going to have to play something that's worth more than 3 tempo. Oh, I miscalculated. Because, well, or not that this is... I thought this might be just 4, but it's actually 5. Because if it didn't take damage from... Either way, like... I think I still want to draw one of those. Oh no, they go at the bottom. We knew that.
A pleasure to meet.
So it's a 26 card rent free deck. Got it, got it. Makes complete sense. Red die played for 7 there. So it's a rent free deck with abduction. Just love the ingenuity of the ladder. In the 2400s, especially this time of day. Don't worry, in 3 hours Europe will be awake and then things will be so much better. We got a lock there. I'm gonna play the Itter. It's locked. Vilgefortz. That's why I was putting these in the deck, because, you know, they're bodies, and I'd rather have the specials in my hand. Since this is not an insectoid, we're going to try and go front row. I think the opponent's holding on to the light cab, waiting for me to place or scratch him on it. I'm actually just going to play Grand here first. Want to be mindful of Igni, like you don't want to give him a bunch of force. But this is higher than the other one, so we should be okay on Igni front. Comes another lock. I'm a little worried about another lock coming out. Or he, oh, bad positioning. Yep, cat's gonna die. because he can do damage 6. So if I put that maybe to the left of Kiki Warrior, it would have been fine. He couldn't have killed it. But as it stands, Kitty's gonna die because it's gonna take much damage. Don't make that mistake.
Got ya, you bleating son of a doe.
He still hasn't played his second slave driver, so there's probably yet another lock. Yep. So we made a mistake with the kitty, but other than that,
How am I to catch it, Master? It sees me every time.
it's mostly just that opponent's deck has 60 billion locks. And we lose by 18 points. But like, see, if I don't lose the cat to that, then one of my Kiki Queens doesn't get locked. Because he has to lock the cat, or vice versa. And I get a ton of points. Well, if he locks both Kiki Queens and the cat lives, the cat still procs the Kikis. That's like an extra 9 or 10 points. So now, not an excuse, but I was playing as a 26 card Renfree deck with four locks and a Vilgefortz and an Igni. Was there an Igni? Or was that the previous game? That was the previous game.
Too long we have tolerated.
But even that last game was winnable. The game against Albrecht, we just got really unlucky. Let's try again, game number 3. Well, again, Roach and Knickers. Lock stratagem. So this is Golden Decker Clog, I think. Are NG players sadists? That's a dangerous card to play, because that could be costly. I'm not gonna play. Usually, when I see Lock Collar, it's either because they have some sort of lock synergy, or more often than not, it's because they don't have any locks. And this is their way of saying, well, I didn't want to fit any Alba in my deck, so I'll just stick a lock collar in there. This does help him play around Pred Dive though, so there's that. If I had a Stalker, I could kill that stuff, but I do not, and I don't have Decree in my hand. We are red coin. We don't have to win this round. Just trying to figure out what to play next. This is the card that also requires a lock. Pomfret, I was asking, what should it be? I don't know which game it was for or what the result was supposed to be. Opponent still doesn't use the lock. We'll just use a Raucous Venom here. It's not... Raucous Venom is really important to keep against Erland and against for Saskia. Because you can... Like, Iter plus this kills the Saskia that's unboosted, and against Erland, same thing, right? Or it can at least get them to be the lowest card so you can Pred Dive them. But against these NG files, it doesn't matter. What's my tallest card in the deck? Iter. You can use this to like put Iter on top before Golden Echoing. In this case, I don't really need to. I'm just gonna pass here. Chimeras have an Adrenaline 5, so we couldn't have played them until we play one more card, and then we can play Chimera. I mean, you can play them, but
Good of the Empire.
you don't want to.
That is what matters.
Unless there's like a false theory like this. He's just really playing around Pred Dive. More than, like, because I put Pred Dive in my deck because I was seeing no one else play it. No one was playing around it either. But suddenly, this time of day. I might have wanted to click that. But opponent still hasn't used their Lock Collar. They played Milton. That's a commitment because Milton goes well with Palmerin and other boosty cards, and they haven't played any of those. I don't see them passing. Of course, I could be wrong. If I had another consume, I'd consume this, and then the Sangreal wouldn't do anything. I mean, I'm ahead. Well, not really. Okay, so he Yenvo's the 18 power unit, and then he uses Stratton. Now he wants to get out. Do we let him? Sure, why not? Yep, I reset the prediction. We can do gamblers for every game. I just don't remember. And, you know? Somebody's got to remind me. So, these are the tallest cards in our deck. Because we used our first artifact, we can't draw the other one. Or rather, it would break our Golden Necker. I'm starting to think that using Doldulock early is a mistake. I should just keep it in hand. Oh, it's Master of Puppets. How wholesome. Okay, well, get Pred Dive. I really wish I had a Stalker. A Kiki more Stalker, to be clear. Don't stalk me. Because then, like, I could click this and it would get 2 charges, and I could use that plus a Whisper's Tribute to kill something. Because both Stalkers have been in deck this game, not really able to do much with it. We have Tesham, like I said, but sitting in deck. So what can we do instead? Let's play this. Into this. Like that. Now we have a target for Endrega Queen. I'm trying to save my Iter because this is... I'm sensing some cheese and I want to have my control options for round. That's something that I've been trying to focus on is... As much as I want to win round 1, I need to get better at knowing when to conserve my control resources. Yeah, opponent's just trying to value lead us here. Either that or they have Gorthor Givade and they want to put this in our deck after killing it somehow. They played any clog cards? No. And they have Yen though. Clog decks usually don't play Yenvo. Or Vilga, what that one guy did. So who knows? That's a lock. Now, on the off chance that there is a slave driver here, and also because I need to play something, and these are all important cards. Does anyone in my chat have a 2450 or higher score this season and would like to play a practice game? Oh yeah, I click this, making it think like I want the biggest unit, on top for Golden Necker or something, and so he cantas and he gets the Chimera, which is not an important unit for me at all. We're still being glad someone played an Itter. Then I'll play Caranthier into Kiki if I have to. But he needs like... Vilgefortz.
An interesting choice.
I mean, I'm gonna play Caranthier Kiki. He's gonna pass, but no, I'm gonna play Sir Scratch a lot actually. One, because having when you're against locks, like because we have organic cards, rocking Kiki Queen now, having 2 Kiki Queens is better in case one gets locked. Because Cat by itself, we don't have any Thrive in this deck. Cat by itself isn't as good as the Kiki Queen. So in our deck we have unit, special, special, artifact. So now we get the Teshin. Do I need to kill the Siri? No, but it lets me not play a unit, and his deck wants me to have things. I'm forcing him to play. It's like basically saying you go first. Since we kept like we have last say, and our first play was killing his thing, it's basically like we won round 1. Here comes his Golden Necker. His red sword is garbage. Yeah, this looks very much like a Master of Puppets nonsense deck. So we're gonna play our Decree. We're kicking more Stalker. And then do nothing. Because now, if he wants to start boosting something, he's going to give us removal power, right? Because he's going to only hit things that are smaller. Thank you for the boost. Appreciate it. Because he can't seize golds, he can only seize bronzes. So. This is going to be taller than any Insector's Wicked anyway. We're going to do this. Get all our guys out. It's kind of smart. You boost the Queen so I can't proc its Thrive. This one, oh. It's a lot of boosts there. Oh. It doesn't have the second Master of Puppets. Okay, so we're going to play Bone Talisman first. Fuck all the Thrive now. You can see we're just like a million points ahead. But, because we really hate what our opponent was trying to play, we're going to consume all these drones. And then hit that list. Okay, we didn't need to consume them all. We could have just killed that. But anyway, hope that helps. Those are some very tough games. hopefully we'll play one more and it'll be like a standard deck, like Pirates or Enslave 6 or Bounty or Harmony. Those are not like bad, those are really good decks, but I'd much rather play against a standard, solid meta deck, so that you guys can see how to play this deck in your typical condition, not against random cheese. But hey, depending on your rank, you might be dealing with a lot of random cheese also. And this deck is pretty good at that, dealing with random cheese, because it's not, you're not a devotion deck, you know, you're not just a point slam deck. You have control, you have tools, you have tempo, you can bleed. You shouldn't lose to Clog. RNG games in a row. This is why I don't make as many guides as I should or I'd like to. It's because every time I do, which is usually around now when like chat's kind of quiet, kind of a downtime for the stream. I say down. There's 115 people here who I don't want to overlook. But I just mean like compared to like 2 hours from now, it's a lot less hyper. And so this is when I would want to do it. My opponents are not so helpful. The talkative people are slow sleep. Yeah, it's just a bunch of people who've been staying up too late. And I want to be able to interact with them rather than do the guide. So that's the thing. That last model again was bad. I needed that card. But it should be okay. Oh, cultists. Lovely. Always kill all the deacons. Parasite's going to be super helpful. So he saw that we're a control deck. He's going to try and make... using the operator to make more cultists that way. I would have liked to be red point to like open with, or not. I would have liked to have a stalker on the board now because I'm spawning so much stuff, but you can't really risk him getting value. So. He's got another deacon in his hand, and also the one he's going to copy from us. So, finally gets one. But we are going to try and out-tempo them. And because these have Veil, opponent's going to have a hard time with them. Maybe the correct play was to... Oh, right. This does 3 damage.
Marked by the fiend.
That was a big mistake. Just made. If I had just like consumed a drone with that, opponent couldn't do what they just did. They would have to use both leader shards, which they would never do, because that's how they get their scenario out. Or that's how they proc their scenario. So now that they played their scenario, our game plan is more about making sure they don't get a very long round. Again, if I had Tome or Decree, there's a lot more I could do. But as it stands, I'm just going to boost by 1. Presumably, oh, nice. I'm gonna do a Hideous Feast on this card, and then boost this Informant. We don't have a lock. If we had a lock, we could lock our friendly unit. Playing meta. Interesting.
Do not make me beg. Her grace will not be pleased.
Oh, it's because this had the infusion, and it's a gold. Gonna kill this cultist. You know, we're only 16 points behind. That's a lot of points, actually. This is 5. Well, I don't have a choice right now. I have to play. Or I have to end my turn. Okay, he's still playing. We need to keep reach somehow. And teleport. Okay.
Spin the wheel. Set the stage.
A little too late now for me to play a Stalker. But I am wondering if I can thin my deck and slam a bunch of points down at the same time. We have. Let's do that. Oh, Teshem could also work, but I think I want to save Teshem for later. Again, like, we're not trying to win this round. We're red coin. It's fine. We lose it. We just want to keep reach so that he can't pass. He can't tempo pass us. He's probably going to want to teleport this again. When we established it in the poll, it was flower pet babies. I don't recall any such poll. Sounds like fake news. Oh, lovely. He mills our Kiki Ring. Due to the enormous girth and magnitude of our opponent's talent, we're probably going to lose this game. Gonna play this first. Oh, hey, Lightning Tune. Thank you so much for the Prime. 8 months. Really appreciate it, man. And AJ Gameplay. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We need to mulligan our specials. We know opponent doesn't have any left. We've done too much. This card doesn't have any value. Use this golden necker, actually. We need to have this in our hand because he'll play Prophet at some point, and you can't play a Veiled unit when he plays Prophet. And you can't play something from your deck. It has to be from your hand because it only gets locked if it's in your hand. Fun fact. We can do this. I don't think there's much you can do about it. Now, maybe he's a Vincent friend, but this doesn't have a status. This is like a melee boat right now. We also don't have any way whatsoever to boost it. But it's there. And it could be a very valuable engine for our Kiki Stalkers, which we'll need to kill any of his... Like, we need to kill all of his engines now. How did he make... Oh, because he doesn't have the other guys. Okay. We want to kill these ASAP. I think I do this. One. And then 2 more drones. Now he can infuse the drones, unfortunately. But we'll just have to not let him stick anything on the board.
Asking me for help. Now that's smart.
There's the Prophet, like I said. We need a bronze for that. As foretold in the prophecy of the Prophet, we would need a way to deal with this nonsense. Now we want to kill this last illusionist. We can, but I also want to kill this cultist.
No worries, man. I'll remain unseen, be assured.
Another gold. These are not engines, okay? So this is an engine, and then this makes it so the other illusionist, if he has it in hand, will create a full power beacon. Wagenberger. This is also not an engine. The only engine is this Prophet here. We're gonna play this on a Grant here. Probably need to play Cat soon too. And then we have to play this before last. So Tesham's going to be our last card, maybe. No. Shit, I should have played Tesham sooner.
Not an illusion. Marked by the fiend doom.
I could have killed this with Tesham. I forgot that I had this Tesham. We'll use Tesham to kill that. We can get value from Akiri. There's also this thing in the back I could have Tesham. Holy crap, I'm so dumb.
Plans within plans.
Okay, well, we could have killed the prophet. We could have killed a lot of things. And we would have won this game if we had. Even with the terrible luck of draws round 1. Okay. As you can probably see in my face, I almost don't want to post this guide. But we will try one more time. If you're someone like me who doesn't want to play against the decks you've seen today, do not queue on the ladder from around 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. US Pacific time. Let's see what that would be in CET. So basically from like 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. European time. That is, you're only going to get toxic, cheesy. Well, not only, but like that's when I see the worst, like the least enjoyable things I want to play against. Now, sometimes it makes good content, but not when I'm making a guide on how to play a normal deck against normal other decks. Hopefully this is just a standard harmony list. But at this point, I don't know what the word hope even means. Those are unlucky match for guy. Yeah, there's just.
I shall not fail.
Sadly, this is pretty standard. Are we really like 0 and 5 in the making of this guide? No, we won 1. Somehow. I think it's an NG imprisonment deck too. Opponent hasn't played their Sasuke yet. So we want to get this out. Get her out. Sasuke's probably boosted to 5 anyway. But this will help us collect charges. So we don't have to use everything on a leader. Honestly, I'm mostly bummed out by that cultist game because we could have won. If I had boosted my stalker by 1 when I first played it, it wouldn't have died, and then in round 3 I could have killed the prophet. Now prophet ended up being like 20 points, so you know it's like an easy fix. This is gonna get poisoned. I'm gonna have to quick hit this turn. And I'm also gonna kill one of these neophytes. So I can. Yes, he's got. He's been trying to teach me how to be handsome. Step 1, be dirt. I'm still working on it. I took out an elf and a relic, so that's 4 less points for this. Sorry, 2 less points for this. But also means I can preg dive of it, potentially. So we just do this. You think? Oh, we're not big enough. Okay. We're gonna do this. Not arouse suspicion. There you go. Opponent played Dana, but no Saskia, and they want us to somehow give him the round. Just not gonna. That's simply not a thing that's gonna be happening here. Hero. Mashiro 6 to kill this, I assume. Maybe it's a prep deck where they're gonna replay Shiro. Nice spread dive on the Shiro? Nah. That's not good enough for me. I'm gonna pred dive this fool for a lot more than 6 points.
Don't leave me here. Not alone. I'll beg you.
Craft gaming. Here's a guide on how to pet the derp. Step 1, pet the derp. Step 2, continue to pet derp. Your hands are for petting derp. Opponent's been playing around pred dive. They know. So I don't think they're gonna open scenario. The open scenario. The mad lad.
Are up here.
That was an 11-point pred dive. Still, it's probably not the best pred dive that we were gonna get, to be honest. Like, this is gonna be more than 11 points. But I need to get my stuff going. I'll play Saskia. You wanna get this to chapter 1 first before playing everything else. You have to play Snare, then Harmony, and then Saskia. He's only gonna get 2 pulls from Saskia. Wait. They must have missed Saskia then. We didn't have like Golden Neck around too, so. Derp's like derping all over the guide here. I love you too, buddy.
The forest
He's like, no, pet me like this. The more I play this deck, the more I realize that it actually has tools to deal with almost everything. I just need to play it better. Or, not that I'm like playing it bad necessarily. I'm saying
green horror.
some decks, it's like, oh, this is the way you play it, and you either win or lose based on things. Generally, you don't control. And there's other decks that have a lot more flexibility. Like Enslave 6 is a deck that like can be played a million different ways, right? This is kind of like that because you have some control tools, some point slam tools, some tempo tools, and different combos of cards that can go well together. And I think that's the kind of deck that I enjoy playing lots of games because then I learn what to do in each matchup. And over time I can feel like I'm getting better at the deck, you know? Because like round 1 I used a lot of my control tools but didn't actually win on even, so was that correct? Maybe I should have just let the opponent deal with it, you know? Right now what I'm thinking about is mainly not playing into Brehan. Not losing my Kashi or Kiki. I want to make sure we talk to Thrive. And we also want this row to be full so he can't move our cat and Brehan it. This deck doesn't have a lot of. I mean, they have shooter, but they already played their shooter. Right? So.
The wood shall turn against you.
And we want to like keep getting value from this Indrago Queen as well. Kashi? Did I say Kashi? Oops. He can Brehan the Kitty now. Or the Kashi, actually. I need to put the Kitty on this other row. So that can't happen. To the Kiki More Queen, at least. Sorry, I just played against so much Nilfgaard. My brain is turning to mush.
Oh, I'm feeling sleepy, grumpy, dopey, and bashful.
Opponent just not play Brehan? So this road's gonna get filled by that. Eventually. I ate one of these because I wanted to have more insectoids to benefit from the fire. This is going to be very close. Oh, no, it's not. Not even going to be close. So even when we got our Caranthier quacks out, we outpointed Harmony. And I think that's a good note to end this guide on. I highly encourage you to check out this deck. I'll put a link to this exact version in the description. And I'm going to try and post a guide on Play Gwent as well with some just written, very general, high overview of how to play this deck. But yeah, if you have any questions or if you want to do some practice games, just stop by the stream or post on Discord or leave a comment on YouTube. I do my best to keep up on all that. And then let me know if there's any other meta decks you want to see guides for. Cheers.